In Demon Slayer Season 3 Episode 4, we should be seeing a lot more of the Mist Pillar as he takes on the many different CGI fish that are in the forest. At the end of the last episode, we saw Tokito running to Kotetsu's side after the words that Tanjiro said echoed in his mind. And over the course of this season, we are going to see this guy's personality open up a lot. And for people who already don't like him, just give him a couple chapters so you can see what his entire deal is, because I promise you, this character has some of the best character development out of anyone in the series. So Tokito's going to start fighting the massive fish, and he's going to realize that the fish actually has a very specific weak point, which is the vase that is on its back. And since you can't actually kill these giant fish by decapitating them like a normal demon, Tokito is going to have to focus on breaking the vases as he comes across them. Now, of course, Kotetsu is going to be extremely grateful at Tokito saving him, not really expecting the Mist Pillar to be the one to come to his side after all the massive rudeness he's had to deal with from him. However, it's at this point where we're going to start realizing that something deeper is going on of Tokito than we thought. In this episode, as long as they don't skip it and put it for the next episode, which we will get into the reasoning why they would do that in a second, we should actually see some of Muichiro's backstory and how he ended up joining the Demon Slayer Corps in the first place. Without getting into manga territory, we know that Tokito does have a very sad backstory, and in the episode we actually see the day that Ubuyashiki welcomed Tokito into the group as the mist in Tokito's mind begins to clear and he starts to see some of his memories that he'd actually lost. And that's right, Muichiro Tokito is actually such an airhead because he's lost a significant amount of his memories from trauma that he faced in the past. Because of course he was attacked within an inch of his life by a demon, and at that time Ubuyashiki told Tokito to take it easy because his memories will absolutely come back, and even small things that may seem trivial might end up clearing the mist that's inside of Tokito's head. As Tokito grabs Kotetsu and starts running through the forest trying to carry him away to safety, Kotetsu keeps talking, so Tokito tells him, "Hey, speaking you might bite your tongue off." Pretty much a nice way of telling him to shut up. And we're gonna see Muichiro actually doubting himself, but again, after the memory that he had of Ubuyashiki praising him, he says, "No, I actually can do this. I was praised by Ubuyashiki after all, so I have to get this mission complete, because after everything is said and done, I'm still the Mist Hashira of the Demon Slayers." Elsewhere, we're gonna pick up exactly where Tanjiro's fight left off, with Tanjiro slashing the small head of the demon that was attached to his leg, about to send a massive sonic burst his way. And as he splits the head, they reform into two separate mouths that also shoot sonic screens at him, but it's at this moment where Tanjiro realizes that even though they both hit him with sonic screams at the same time, the attack power has actually dropped, leading Tanjiro to theorize that the more that these demons split up, the weaker that they get after the first four. And this is because, as we explained in our Hantengu's Clones Explained video, each of these clones is actually one of the primal emotions in Japan, which are the four core emotions that they believe in. So any other clone after the first four is actually weaker because it's not part of the core original group. So Tanjiro starts trying to split the little pieces of the demon up into even smaller pieces so he can actually exercise them, but this is when the flying clone Urogi actually finds Tanjiro and starts doing battle with him. And Tanjiro quickly realizes that as easy as it is to fight the little clones of this guy himself is actually really tough and really fast. So as Urogi flies in to get an attack on Tanjiro, he actually slashes Tanjiro against his chest, but Tanjiro gets an attack back, slicing Urogi right up his face and cutting his tongue. And it's here where Tanjiro finally starts to get the upper hand on this demon, because he realizes if he slices the demon's tongue for whatever reason, it seems like it really slows down their regeneration rate, allowing him to actually have a fair battle against this clone. After landing this attack on the demon, it actually kicks things into overdrive and starts taking hit and run shots at Tanjiro as it flies through the forest, scraping him and scratching him where it can to avoid being hit. And this is when Tanjiro really concentrates, taking a very deep breath and attacking the demon by jumping at it and pinning it against the wall, because he realizes that this demon isn't actually all that physically strong, and it's actually incredibly light because it has to fly around and keep a light body. So he can actually pin it down and defeat it using his overwhelming strength, which he does by crashing it into the building that Nezuko and Sekiro are in, so he can defeat the demon and see what's going on in the Nezuko fight at the same time. Now, inside of the building, this entire time, Nezuko has actually been fighting against two of the Upper Moons at the same time, because two of the clones, Sekiro known as Anger and Aizetsu known as Joy, are both right in Nezuko's face as Tanjiro ends up getting sent away, and immediately Nezuko locks arms with the Upper Moon demon that has the fan that sent away Muichiro. Now, both of these two struggle as the Anger demon actually gets really annoyed at the fact that Karaku doesn't just finish her off, and Aizetsu, the one that actually just finished off fighting Genya by putting a spear through his chest, turns and he's like, "I'll finish her off, I'll handle this, I'm already done with my fight. The issue is I can't pull my spear out of this human." And when he tries to pull pull his spear out of Genya, we actually see Genya lifting up his head, still being alive, letting a shot off on the Sadness Demon, showing that he's still in this fight too. But when he does this, he really starts confusing all the other demons, who are wondering why he's not dead yet. Now Genya is trying his best to actually help Nezuko in this situation as she's busy fighting the other demon Moon, and even though the demon attacks Genya again and he thinks that he actually finished Genya off, we see Genya sitting down and doing a prayer. And he's doing this prayer because this is something actually called repetitive action that Genya has to do because he doesn't know how to do total concentration breathing. But when he does repetitive actions, something taught to him by the first stone pillar that we can't explain on the channel if you'd like, it actually mimics the effects of total concentration breathing, allowing him to dodge the upper demon Moon's attack and actually try to cut his head off. However, the issue is there is still one demon sitting in this room named Sekido who's not fighting at all, and that's of course the lightning demon, who's kind of just standing around watching his two brothers fighting Genya and Nezuko. And even though Genya takes the full power of this demon's lightning and another attack by Aizetsu the spear demon, they're both very confused once again that Genya just isn't dying. What's going on with this guy? Realizing that everyone else is having fun instead of him, we see Karaku, the wind demon, actually starting his fight with Nezuko in earnest, and he kicks her right through the stomach. His full leg literally goes right through her chest, and we see Nezuko's blood getting everywhere. But like every demon that ends up fighting against Nezuko, this demon quickly finds out that she's actually very strong. When Nezuko actually holds his leg with her torso and does an amazing kick that actually kicks the head of the demon halfway clean off. And as Nezuko lands this kick, she actually rips off one of her own arms that the demon is holding, causing her blood to go spilling all over the demon, where Nezuko then activates her blood demon art, soaking this demon in her special demon cell destroying flames. And as the demon screams out in pain to being cloaked in Nezuko's flames, she then does a spin, ripping off the leg that's inside of her stuck in her torso, and actually grabs one of the upper demon Moon's arms and takes that as well. And this is important because, like I said, this is actually the wind demon that has that amazing fan, and Nezuko actually takes the fan and uses it against him, finding out that that fan isn't only exclusive to the one demon Moon who was using it, and she could actually use the amazing power of that wind laser beam to take care of these demons here. Or at least that's what she could do if it wasn't for the anger demon putting his staff in Nezuko's neck and hitting her with a constant torrent of electricity, keeping her stunned. This is around the same time that Tanjiro actually makes it back into the building and witnesses his sister literally getting electrocuted by a staff that is just poking out of her, with the anger demon just standing there watching it happen like he's watching a campfire. And the anger demon makes another one of his lightning staffs to attack Tanjiro, but Tanjiro realizes a massive weakness in this demon because his lightning can't pass through anything that's made of his own cells, so Tanjiro uses the leg of the demon that he already defeated to grab the staff and conduct all of the electricity as he gets an attack off on the anger demon, slashing his tongue and buying himself a couple seconds to grab the staff that's in Nezuko and save her from being electrocuted. And thankfully he does this in time, because in kind, Nezuko actually saves Tanjiro from getting his own neck pierced by this staff, and we know Tanjiro can't heal, so that would have just been the end of the series. Nezuko also wraps the anger demon in her flames, and everything seems like it's going their way, before Karaku, the demon that Nezuko sent flying, actually appears from out of the treetops ready to use his second fan, which he spawned because, you know, the demons can just create their own weapons as they heal, and he hits the entire building that Nezuko and Tanjiro are in with a massive air blast that literally takes them out of the fight as soon as they're hit by it. So Nezuko and Tanjiro are in a really bad situation, given that they're still in this building passed out with 3 of the Upper Moon clones, and in the other room we can't even really depend on Genya to help them because Genya is having his own battle, telling the demon, "Oh, I know you're confused, huh? You wonder why I'm still alive? Well, just know that I'm gonna be the one to take you down." Now, elsewhere in the forest, Muichiro realizes that he still doesn't have his own actual sword, and he's really nerfed because he's still using the chip blade that he grabbed off of the robot, but Demon Slayers need to be using their own Nichirin swords, right, that are literally forged for them because they seem to get an amazing power boost when this happens. Muichiro finds a couple of the swordsmiths who tell him they know where his finished blade is, so they try to go and grab it, but they're actually intercepted by the other Upper Moon demon who's here, Gyokko. Gyokko comes out of his vase and actually starts threatening Muichiro, and we know that those two are about to have a legendary battle that's going to start in the next episode, but by the end of the episode we actually see some help that the Demon Slayers are about to get, because Mitsuri Kanroji, the love pillar, is actually back on her way towards the Swordsmith Village, ready to go help Tanjiro and all her friends out. Because the mission that Kanroji was on was actually not that far from the Swordsmith Village in the first place, and she took care of that rather quickly, so now she's back on her way to help out Tanjiro and our friends, and it's very likely that in the next couple episodes, we're about to see full-fledged fights from two Upper Moon demons that we haven't really seen get in their bag yet. So that's everything that's likely to happen in Demon Slayer Season 3 Episode 4. I like doing these videos a day before the episode comes out. It's what I did for the original season, and that worked out really well for me, and these videos are really for anyone that can't wait for the episode and wants to know what's probably going to happen in the episode so they know what to expect, but it's not going to stop them from actually watching the episode, right? Like my narrating what's going to happen, you still want to see what's going to happen, I bet. So shout out to you guys. I'm going really hard on Demon Slayer this season, so I've got some more stuff coming soon, and tomorrow when the episode is out, check out my channel for some explained videos on some of the specific stuff that is introduced in the episode that we haven't talked about yet much on the channel. If you want to see some bite-sized content, I've got a lot of Demon Slayer shorts going up with a lot of information from the Demon Slayer data books that we actually don't learn from in the series, so check those out and find out what Muzan's secret personalities were about or what's going on of Genya's secret, and I'll see you guys later. I love ya. It's Pineapple. Peace.